Hi, this is Dark Shades, and this is a part of Life Skills, series of videos that teach you what your mother never did. Oh, somebody who cared for you or who was supposed to. A lot of us, we go out in the world and we're meant to fend for ourselves, or we end up fending for ourselves. Life doesn't come with a manual. And so we end up making mistakes and say, oh, I wish I knew that, whether it's having a baby, whether it's buying a house, whether it's meeting someone. So this life skills series is designed to help you along the way. It's just my opinion and it's just based on my experiences. So it's not written in stone. And each one teaches one, but each one has their own experience and each one comes with their own background, culture, identity. So nothing is for gospel. This is only what I think works based on my limited experience. So this video is called Getting to Know You Without the Interview. So we're talking about meeting people, bringing people in your space, in your life, and at a time when you have to be skeptical about individuals. You can't be careful enough. But how do you get information from somebody without sounding like Columbo or that you're a police investigator? It's really, really difficult, but it's also extremely important. So the best way to do that is to build rapport, to listen effectively, and to communicate well. Have you heard of that song? I think Julie Andrews did it in The Sound of Music, and it was also a song in The King and I, and it's called Getting to Know You. And it went, getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me. Well, I've got a lousy voice and I don't claim I'm a singer. I'm not. But that is the basis of this video. Now, when you are meeting somebody for the first time or the second time, how they approach you has a lot to do with it, unless of course you were introduced by someone else. If you're introduced, it does give them a little bit of credibility if you know the person who introduced them well enough. But we're assuming that this person hasn't been introduced and you need to get to know them. So who are they? People can be anyone. People can say anything. You've got people on Facebook, on social media that are under false profiles. How do you know who they are? All you've got is body language, a vibe, the way they speak, and you can kind of build a picture on what somebody's like and who they are. I suggest that after a few phone calls and getting to speak to somebody or even Skyping people, that you get certain questions in from the very beginning, like what kind of things do they like, what are their values, what are their political views, what are their religious views, what are their views on children, what is their worldview, what are their interests and hobbies and their dreams and their goals. These can be things that you can just throw in on a whim, and if you're interested in someone, it doesn't come like an interrogation. It should just come with the flow. So that's the initial stages, and then you need to get a bit deeper because it's important to get to the nitty-gritty. So then you want to know about their relationship history. Now this can be quite touchy, especially like when I was watching Big Brother. I think somebody had been out sleeping with 1,500 women. That could make you feel a bit skeptical about that person's ability to commit, or ability to be faithful, or ability to be stable in any kind of friendship or relationship. Not that you want to make that judgment, but that's what happens. We're human. We get thoughts in our head, and based on how we were raised, we make a judgment or we have an opinion on it. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying it like it is. So relationship history doesn't have to be their sexual history. It can be, their relationship with their parents, and you can say, how's your mum? You'll glean a lot from their answers. And how's your dad? You'll glean a lot from that. Maybe they'll say with their mum, oh, my mum, don't get on well with her, she's a bit of a this or a bit of a that, or I didn't grow up with my mum, or my mum's dead, or whatever. With your dad, I might not have grown up with my dad, I've never seen my dad. It tells you a lot. Could say, oh, my mum and dad are great, they live up in a nice place up in Devon, and they've got a nice little home, and they've been married for like 80 years or 60 years or 30 years or 15 years, whatever it is. It can tell you a lot about the individual, the relationship with their parents. You've also got, what kind of work did they do, after their parents are alive, even if they're not. You can say, oh, so what did she do for a living, or what did he do for a living, and before they died, what were they doing? Were they retired, or what did they used to do? So you can get an idea, whether or not they were business people, whether or not they were homemakers, whether or not they own their own farm, or whatever it is. Still gives you an idea. And then you can ask them if they've got any brothers or sisters and how they get on with them. What kind of relationships do they have with them? You can also get a lot from that, because supposing, I don't know if they would tell you, but maybe they might say, oh, one of my brother died, or my brother's in the army, or my sister is abroad, or, well, my brother's in prison, or anything, still glean a lot from the relationship history and the family history. Then, okay, you're into maybe about the fourth to say 8 meetings now. You're getting on great and everything's going well. So now you want to know where the relationship is going. If you're on that kind of train, you might not be. You might be quite happy to play it cool, but regardless of what it is, you both need to be on the same plane, and you both need to have the same expectations and know what the other wants. Is it just a booty call? Is it just something where you just think, oh, a friend with benefits? Or, just when I want a bit, I'm going to call him, or he says the same to you. Is it going to be a monogamous relationship? Is it just going to be one-on-one? Are you going to agree that? Are you going to say to each other, look, I really like you. Is this monogamous? Are we now boyfriend and girlfriend, as they say in Love Island? Or is it an open relationship? You're allowed to see other people, and because it's just the way things are. It's the way of the new world, for all I know. So is it going to be an open relationship, or are you going to be committed? Committed, whether it's living with each other or whether it's getting married. Do you want children, or do you already have children, and what is the impact of that? What relationships do you have with what relationships do the children have with their parents? What relationship do you have with the parents? Will the parents want to come and see the children at your place, or will you be going to their place to take the children? All of those little things are important. Whether or not a car is important to you, not because, it doesn't have to be no fancy car, but a car might be important. Do they drive? Even if they don't drive, do they have a driving license? Are they able to drive? Are they able to rent a car if you need to go somewhere? Those are really important questions. And then we get up to, if you are thinking about a committed relationship, a monogamous relationship, marriage, or living together, you then have to set your boundaries. You have to let them know your likes, what you don't like, your pet peeves, things that are going to destroy the relationship, or things that are just going to annoy the relationship, or things that require a bit of tolerance. You need to see how flexible and you can be, and how you can negotiate. You do have non-negotiable boundaries, and you also have your negotiating boundaries. And that could be anything from if you decide to time me, it's over. If you keep leaving your clothes on the floor, I'm not picking them up. You have to do it, and if you haven't done it, there's going to be ultimatums. Something like that. That's a silly excuse, but it could be something like that, because those silly little things can have serious consequences in the long term. So make sure you know each other's boundaries, each other's limitations, what you're allowed to do from what you're not allowed to do, or not even allowed, but what would really tick your partner off, what they really, really don't like. Find out what those are in the beginning and agree with each other not to upset the apple cart unnecessarily. And you won't have to find out by accident that way, because sometimes you're in a relationship, you find out by accident when something ticks somebody off. And of course, when you're meeting somebody, you listen to them for inconsistencies and warning signs, because all the time that you're talking to this person over the months, from the very beginning, when you're asking them about the things that they like and their values and their political views and their views on children, you look for inconsistencies. Even when you're asking them about their parents, you look for inconsistencies there. You're always listening. You listen out for the warning signs, because you already know what you want. You should have a list of what you want. So when you're talking, because some people, they say, I can't even think of an example now. But anyway, you're looking for inconsistencies. And about their relationships, you need to know that they're consistent about that. No point somebody saying, I want a serious relationship, and then next thing you know, they're talking about they want to go out with their mates on a stag do, and they've got permission. If they might get drunk, anything can happen. So beware. So just look for inconsistencies, look for warning signs, anything that you think might upset you in the long term. Don't rationalise it away, don't make excuses. Well, I better stop it there now. That's gone on quite long, and this video was about getting to know you. That's all for now.